Is it hard to access affordable, healthy food? Then listen carefully. Daryl Addison, an African-American inventor, has patented a process for growing food on demand. He called it Torpedo Pot. Torpedo Pot is a fully automated flower pot that gives you control over your plant's environment. All you do is add soil, seeds, and plants to the flower pot and watch it grow. Yes, Torpedo Pot grows the rest. Visit www.torpedopot.com.
So the co-founders of ice cream company Ben & Jerry's have spoken up against police brutality, calling the abuse of black people by cops a white problem. They say when police abuse black people, it's not a black problem, it's a white problem. While black people bear the brunt of police brutality, it's white people who allow racism to continue. Cohen and Greenfield wrote in the USA Today op-ed on November the 9th. He said, ours is a majority white society. White people elect the officials who appoint the police chiefs. The two wrote, citing statistics to make the point that police chiefs are overwhelmingly white, and say the people we pay to protect and serve are killing and brutalizing black people before our very eyes, and we're letting them get away with it. They added. Now, they're talking about, they said, as uncomfortable as it makes us feel, our inaction feeds and perpetuates injustice. Some of us claim to be neutral, but the reality is that neutrality preserves the status quo. As they wrote and say, if we choose to use it, we white people have the power to hold road cops accountable and create a society where black mothers can also teach their children that the policeman is their friend. Now, Ben & Jerry's has made it part of their mission to combat systemic structural racism. Per the company's website, the company and its leaders have a track record, of taking strong stances against racism and linking their businesses with social issues. Now, we know last year, in June, Ben & Jerry's released a statement calling the murder of George Floyd the result of inhumane police brutality that is perpetuated by a culture of white supremacy. And last September, the company announced it was launching a podcast about white supremacy to examine how legal discrimination along racial lines has been perpetuated in the United States. Now, I said Ben & Jerry's has engaged in various progressive causes by publishing articles on topics including white supremacy and the importance of getting out to vote in local elections and the difficulties you talk about the immigrant farm workers faced during the COVID-19 pandemic. The company is also known for taking stances with its ice cream with flavor names released like Justice Remix to advocate criminal justice reform and the anti-Trump flavor Pecan Resist. Now, this is the thing in this story. I said this, and I do mean this. There are people that are in the Mzungu community that actually believe like Ben & Jerry's, that company and those men, and they actually would like to do something about it. They want to be on the right side of history. And anybody, I'm a firm believer of this, if you show yourself as a true ally, I will support you. I don't support groups, but I support individual allies. That's how I always will be. Now, this is the issue though. The people that's talking like this, like Ben & Jerry's and other white people that I've seen that spoke up and take a stand. You look at the Kyle Rittenhouse case. Those are white people that was trying to take a stand. They're sick of racism, white supremacy. They understand if they allow it to go on, it's not going to be a good country for them, because as they decrease in number, and more black people are here and other groups of people are here, people are not going to be tolerating white supremacy. Matter of fact, the tide is already turned on that. People are not tolerating white supremacy anymore. No, it's not going to be no status quo white supremacy. I don't care what Jim Crow Joe says. The status quo is gone. The status quo now is you better give us some justice or uprisings will happen. That's just really what's going on right now. But unfortunately, if the majority of the people in the Mzungu community in America was thinking and talking like the co-founders of Ben & Jerry's, we wouldn't have a white supremacy problem. But the majority of those in that community, they believe in white supremacy. They want to see it continue. Even those that say, well, I'm not racist, but I'm just kind of neutral. No, you support white supremacy. You just don't want to openly say you support white supremacy because you don't want to be equal with black people. You don't want to even compete at an equal playing field. You don't. You want to have an unjust system that you benefit from. You don't have to be out there talking about in Charlottesville, you have to put on a Klan hood, a neo-Nazi, or none of that. You worse than they are. It's more of them that support white supremacy. Like you said, January the 6th showing everybody that those people are in every walk of life. It's literally infected in this country. White supremacy is the plague. White supremacy is the pandemic. It is. It's a pandemic that we've been needing a freaking vaccine for. And what's happening now, people are starting to give y'all this particular vaccine for white supremacy. It's called uprisings. It's called we're not gonna take it no more. That's what's bringing an end to that. And y'all white supremacy been taking a lot of L's lately. Because people tired. Even other young white folks, you talk to, they get tired, some of them. It's like, dog, man, we don't, America's changed. Everybody's like mixed up now. It ain't like it used to be. You stay here, you stay there, I'm over there. That's just not going to happen. Not in America. It's just not. So them ideals of white supremacy, that's old, outdated, and America is going to something different. And people are not going to put up with it. So the co-founders of Ben & Jerry's are trying to be on the right side of history. And at the same time, what happens for their business? When they take a stand like that, sure, the white supremacists not going to want them. But then let's say a person like myself, other brothers and sisters that's watching, you'll be more proud to get some Ben & Jerry's. Say, okay, I'm going to get some Ben & Jerry's. If I can't support somebody in the community, let me get Ben & Jerry's. Why? Because Ben & Jerry's is supporting you vocally. So you got to, reciprocate, right? That's how I feel about it. With an ally. If an ally supports us, we will support you. Period. We're not supporting groups, but we support individuals. That's how I feel about it. And those individuals represent a company. Okay, we will support that. But leave me a comment. Let us think about the situation with the co-founders of Ben & Jerry's also saying it is a white folks problem. It is. They didn't lie about it. Nothing they said at all was a freaking lie. None of it. They created the problem. Of course, it's a white folks problem. Living in America as a black person, you recognize there is one set of laws for you and one set of laws for those, especially in the white community. In our book, Passive Aggressive Racism in the System of White Supremacy, I take you through times in my life when I first started noticing white supremacy. We teach you how to recognize it, identify it, and also counter it in our book. This book is a beginner's course for those that are just starting to wake up and open their eyes to see the system of white supremacy. As a black American person, you must understand this system because this system is life or death to you. How you handle it, how you deal with it, it can affect your mental health if you don't understand this system. Pick up our book, Passive Aggressive Racism in the System of White Supremacy, today on Amazon.